Drawing from imagination is something I want to do more often. So in this video, you will see me creating a pencil portrait without a reference. Now, there are a few things I want to mention about this topic. In order to be able to come up with, in my case, a portrait in my head, I need to rely on the visual library I created so far throughout my whole art journey. And before I get started on this, I want to address a common misconception people have. I've seen this mostly by people who are either not creating art themselves or beginner artists. And I do remember myself being in that kind of mindset back then too when I was younger. It's the misbelief that people think the impressive aspect of art is that you created it just like that, without any type of reference. And sometimes young creatives think just the same way about their art, pressuring themselves into not using photo references. Let me tell you, references are important. I cannot emphasize this enough. I draw with references, I'd say like 98%, and it helps me so much to improve my sense for proportions, shapes, shadows, and color. Basically everything you need to know. You need them to build up the visual library in your brain in order to memorize how things actually look and behave in reality. Now, as I said, using references is crucial and necessary if you want to improve in drawing somehow realistic, and even if you like it more stylized, you should observe from them. So here I am talking about the importance of references in a video where I'm showing a drawing process without them. Well, my goal is to spend a bit more time consciously not using references so I can train that very specific muscle. As I said, ever since I started studying from reference photos, I could tell I improved a lot, yet sometimes I'm done with a portrait, I look at it and I'm bored. I'm bored because I managed to somewhat copy what I saw. So for me personally, I like to switch things up. I just told myself to create something completely freely from time to time. I'm very curious about you fellow artists. Do you draw from imagination often or at all? Or is it maybe the other way around and you barely use references? Let me know, I'm interested in your approach. Let's talk about this portrait you're seeing right now. Before I even ended up with this sketch, I think I failed like 3 times. By the way, I recently had a lot of failures, but at the same time, after having these failures, I managed to work through it and become a little bit more resilient and even came up with decent results in the end. Maybe I'll do a separate video about that topic in the future. The hardest part for me without a reference is nailing the proportions. I struggle with it and go over it a lot. It's not perfect in the end, but it's something I can look at and be okay with. Obviously, it's not super realistic, but I just need a somewhat solid base for myself to start shading. And for me, that's where the real fun begins. I love shading. And maybe in the future I will show it more in detail. I wanted the hair in this portrait to be a lot more stylized than the face on purpose. I have no interest in drawing realistic hair. It bores me and consumes way too much time. And trust me, I already need plenty of time for the rest. I like the face to be the focal point anyway. I hope you enjoyed this video and the drawing process of this imaginary portrait. I'm planning to use it as a base to color it with mixed media in my next video, so make sure to come back if you want to see the result. Also, let me know in the comments if you have a suggestion for coloring, maybe a specific color for the hair or whatever. As always, I put my Instagram in the description below, and I hope you have a nice day.